Peace and blessings, family. Welcome to the Real Truth and Power podcast. Please hit that subscribe button. Again, welcome to Real Truth and Power. We provide health, wealth, and knowledge itself. Man, been doing some research, and Congress owes black people $57 million. And I'm not talking about reparations. I'm talking about money that was stolen from black people. Money that was stolen. And we need our money. And I'm going to give you the proof right after this.
You are now tuned in to Real Truth and Power, the show that uplifts the community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Here's your host, Everett Winchester.
Peace and blessings, family. Once again, welcome to Real Truth and Power, where we provide health, wealth, and knowledge itself. Get your Real Truth and Power t-shirts. Get at me. Been doing some research and came to find out Congress owes us $57 million. We need to get that money, get it dispersed all across the country in black communities. Let's get into it. In 1865, right after the Civil War, Republicans, now you know Republicans were like liberals back then, they were trying to help black people out. They wanted black people to get land. They wanted black people to build homes. They wanted black people to learn how to be financially responsible. And what happened was they created these banks. The banks were called the Freedmen Banks. And what Congress did was they appointed white people to control these banks. So think about it. These banks were in cities all across America, some of the top cities. Black people deposited money into these banks. About 70,000 black people. 70,000 black people deposited money in these banks. If you take inflation and things of that nature and compare it to where the money was then to where it would be right now, you're talking about wages. You're talking about black people's military cash outs, bounties. You're talking about freedom monies. Inflation and everything, that equals about 57 million. Now, these banks were called the Freedmen Banks. There were about 37 of these banks in major cities, and all of the black people were defrauded of their money. The banks, Congress let these white people run the banks, and these white trustees allowed these white men to invest the black people's money into white businesses, and all of the black people were defrauded. Man, they were defrauded out of their money. The Freedmen Bank lasted for about 7 years. I want to say 1865 to about 1874, something like that. So let's take a look at that real quick. Congress set up these banks. Black people invested their money into the banks that Congress set up for them, and the money was stolen. Now, people always say reparations and black people need to work for their money. I'm against reparations. We need to fight and get our money. But what about our former ancestors that were putting money in those banks so they could be free, saved to be free? Well, actually, this was after the Civil War, so they were free. They were working. They were using the military money and all the hard work money. They were trying to be financially situated. They were being financially responsible, and all the money was stolen. Now, I am demanding an investigation on this. Congress needs to come up with that money and invest it in the black communities. Also, when we talk about reparations, you know, people always think of man, give me a check. But what about investing in the community? What about putting money in our HBCUs? What about getting better public schooling? What about all of this stuff that our ancestors would probably want this money for? Man, so before we start talking about reparations and money that's owed to us because of slavery, how about let's talk about money that was stolen from our ancestors, not from slavery, from hard work, from free men that had jobs, from free men that served in the military for this country that don't have their money, our ancestors. This country is crazy, man. It's really, really foul. And everybody needs to, as Congress, we need to research what happened to the freedmen's banks that were closed. Why were these black people defrauded out of their money? And when can we get our money back? If you don't know, do the research. This is serious. This is not any makeup stuff. Freedmen's Bank. Our money was stolen. Our ancestors' money was stolen, rather. And that's a good place to start. So now we're not talking about money to restore, to repair, rather, damage done because of slavery. We're not talking about reparations anymore. We're talking about our ancestors' money that was stolen. And that equals out to about over $50 million. $50 million. So let's talk about it. Put your comments in there. Will Congress give us some money? Share this information because people don't know. And at Real Truth and Power, we just want to put this information out for the people, man. So thank you again. Do me a favor, y'all, man, and just hit that subscribe button. We have to get this information out to our people. We got to get this information out to our people. Congress owes us $57 million. So we're not talking about reparations. We're talking about stolen money. News alert. And it's a known fact. So I'm out of here, man. Everett Winchester, please share, like this, because a lot of people do not know about this. We're not talking about damage done to black people because of slavery and the government needs to repair. That's what reparations is about. We're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about my ancestors, our ancestors, and stolen money. Man, this is crazy, man. The government kind of set us up. The government set our people up. Hit that like, man. Hit that like button, man. This is just disturbing. And we need our money. Everett Winchester, I'm out. Put your comments in. I love to hear what you got to say. Do you know anything about the Freedmen's Bank? Is this bothering you? Do your research. If I'm wrong, but I'm not. And we need to educate our people. We are being fooled. We are being brainwashed into thinking that the government doesn't owe us anything. We're getting screwed over. I want that money in our communities ASAP. And I'm asking for everybody. We need to start a petition. We need to start fighting. We need to really get this money to be put in our community so we can start teaching our people how to be manufacturers and producers, how to be business owners, how to have farms and do gardens, the things we used to do, to teach our kids not to always focus on going to college and having 4 or 5 years of student loans they have to pay off and not getting the jobs that they want, when they can use their hands and they can use their mind and we can create things and we could create the next Facebook, the next Twitter, the next Instagram. We got to understand that, man. And this is just so disturbing to me. So please, again, hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. And let's get this information out to our people. Real Truth and Power. One love. Don't let them do it to us. I need your help.
Real truth and power, health, wealth, knowledge of self, uplifting the community. Let's talk about it. Real truth and power.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Truth and Power. Please hit that subscribe button and please share this information so we can get this information out. Hotel.
Knowledge of self, uplifting the community. Let's talk about it.